Hey all, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Well, we put it off for long enough, but the prophecy must finally be realised, and the return of Jafar is nigh.
It is kind of interesting. I always thought it was interesting that it covered this particular direct-to-DVD, sequel for that, where the other ones, the other worlds, didn't really cover anything like that. Like, by then, they kind of exhausted all of their possibilities for direct-to-DVD sequels, but it's really strange that Return of Jafar is kind of the only one that gets covered in this game.
Really? Like, I'm still perpetually butthurt that King of Thieves didn't get covered in Kingdom Hearts 3. I feel like that was the ideal time. Like, we've gone past the point of no return here, but who knows, maybe in Kingdom Hearts 5 or whatever, because 4 will be dealing with Quadratum, we will finally get to visit the Vanishing Isle.
I seem to recall, actually, if my history is off, please forgive me, because I don't care, but wasn't, Return of Jafar supposed to be originally theatrical?
That feels correct, but I will have to double check. Thankfully, I have a list of the animated sequels here. First sequel to the original 92 film, it serves as the pilot to the animated series.
Okay, well, I don't know, I had a feeling, because it feels like that if they really made a theatrical sequel for that, that would have also done really, hotcakes successfully, so I guess I'm not sure why they decided to stick that in the pilot territory, but what can you do?
Indeedy so. Alright, there's not really a lot going on in this besides being blown out by the vivacious colours and whatnot, so let's talk direct-to-DVD animated sequels for Disney. Which have you watched?
Let me make a thought here, because again, it's been like, 30 years? So I've watched Return of Jafar, I've watched King of Thieves, I have unfortunately seen Little Mermaid 2, thanks to you.
Yes.
Maybe I need the list too, because I don't remember much else than that. I mean, I was always into Aladdin, but beyond that, I'm not super sure.
Alright, let me scroll down the list. We've got Return of Jafar, Gargoyles, the movie, Heroes Awaken. That feels like they just put episodes together. The film is actually the 5-episode pilot, Awakening. Yeah, that's right.
By the way, I love this bit where they had to remind us what Jafar does with this weird little cutaway scene.
Boy! The wonderful Jonathan Freeman reprising his role as Jafar.
Didn't Jeremy Irons play him in the musical?
Huh. That is an interesting question, and definitely one I won't need to go to Google to find out.
I'm actually going to pull up the direct-to-DVD ones myself. A lot of these do tend to be pilots for the series, of course. There's Mighty Ducks the movie, The First Face-Off, which is just the first few episodes. I have seen the Mighty Ducks cartoon, meh. I've seen Enchanted Christmas. I know we've done a few of these, obviously, for commentary.
Right.
Pocahontas 2, that one, oh my god.
Oof.
I have seen a lot of Disney afternoon shows and ABC shows and things like that, so a lot of these are just, well, let's take the first 4 episodes, it's a DVD movie now, so there you go.
Very, very cool to have such a chilly academic in the desert world. Cools you down and whatnot, although you might get hot under the collar due to Vexen's gimmick.
Yeah, see, I need a shield with AC too, because I live in Florida 24/7, which I thoroughly regret.
Well, we don't have AC as standard in the UK, so all we can do is pop a fan on and, throw open some windows.
Yeah, don't you guys live in, weird, super thick houses because of the weather over there?
Yeah, our houses are better built than ones in the US. That's about all we have over you.
Yeah. And trust me, there's not a lot, so you guys can probably beat us in a variety of areas.
Anywho, the circle on the floor, if you step on it, it will constantly accrue data until, well, as you can see here, a Shadow Sora clone will pop out and harass you.
Yeah, and based on how much data it gathers, the clone can also gather levels, so it gains more abilities, gets tougher as it levels up, so you want to watch out for that as well.
I'd honestly recommend waiting until later to come here, maybe get I don't know, Ultimate Form, Final Form, and just spam Firaga on him, because it decimates Vexen.
Now, the only time I've really fought Vexen, per se, was, you know, when we fought him in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And back then, like, yeah, here, you know, you could break his shield, but back then, you could not. So you had to go behind him, and with that weird 3D perspective, it was really a huge pain in the ass to fight that dude.
Lots of memories of running away from, like, the trail of icicles, and, you know, just due to the way things are laid out in that, you might end up running into it when you think you're running around it.
So I guess, you know, with an ice user, I've seen them with weapons like spears, for example, but I've never really seen one with a shield outside of Vexen. I guess I'm not really sure what that represents in terms of his element. I mean, I know the spikes obviously look like icicles, but beyond that, beats me.
Well, he's a scientist first and foremost, so it would make sense for him to be defensive as opposed to offensive.
That's true. I mean, if I was ever an organization member, I would probably zone. I mean, I know we've talked about how I would have, like, the power fist, but I'll be honest with you, I'd be more like Zigbar. I would just be hanging back and just pinging your HP to 0.
You know what just occurred to me? In complete tangent here, but in the DLC for Xenoblade 3, Future Redeemed, the protagonist is a dude who uses his fist. He has, like, brass knuckles, like magical brass knuckles, and do you know what his name is?
What's his name?
Matthew.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's interesting. I like that. I like that. I may have to check out this person a little more.
Well, you know, we are covering Future Redeemed on the channel right now.
Oh, that's true. I guess I will have to watch HellfireComms every single day. Ooh. Like you should, viewer.
Well, good idea. Very good idea. Anywho, Vexen is nearly done. Well, not the real guy. Where is the real guy right now? Oh, yeah, we killed him in Chain of Memories, of course.
Yeah, I mean, when he comes back, it would be kind of remiss if we challenged him to a boss fight right then and there when he's trying to redeem himself and just beat the shit out of him. Whoa, whoops.
Well, that's me. Back to the lab I go.
Back to the lab again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Back to the lab again.
Road to discovery. Fuck around and find out. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, Jafar's back. We should probably do something about that.
Yeah, sorry, did you just like zone out for a second there? You were kind of flailing.
He doesn't even go into portal. He just kind of stands there and dozes off for like 5 minutes staring into space like cats tend to do sometimes.
So we'll be heading out into the desert momentarily, but I still have this list of DVD sequels here, so I'm going to keep going down it. Jungle Cubs, Born to Be Wild.
That was a direct-to-DVD. Like, I remember the Jungle Cubs cartoon, but I didn't know it had, like, a DVD thing.
This is probably like you mentioned earlier, the first few episodes. They just tend to package them together as movies. Let's see, we've got The Bell, Enchanted Christmas, Seasons of Giving. That's, seems to be a Winnie the Pooh sort of thing. Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, that's an anthology thing. I tend to watch that every Christmas.
I think I've seen that one. That was like, it's got like Donald and the nephews, and I think Max Goof was in it, I think.
Yes, and the second one, I believe, was notable for one of Disney's first forays into CGI, I believe.
This is what having a genie for a best friend is.
Not Pixar, Disney, I hasten to add.
Yeah, now we have a studio that takes care of that for us.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't give him really any topical references, so they had to make do within the limitations of the PS2.
I need to see, like, a graph, what separates Goofy from Gex.
I'm sorry, what?
I need to see a chart, and I'm going to say the names correctly this time. Like, how much distance is there between Genie and Gex?
I don't know. I mean, although it is pretty interesting that Gex HD remaster is coming out. I don't know when it's coming out, probably next year. But hey, first 3 games. I know some people who are like huge Gex fans, so they're pretty happy about that, actually.
Yo, Gex heads, this conversation's just for you. Yeah, this is just like dinner at Tetsuya Nomura's house.
Yeah, that's, can't relate to that, Tom.
No, neither can I. Neither can I. He is small, but mysterious. Powerful, even.
This is a pretty interesting area because, you know, you get on carpet, obviously, for this. And, you know, I was actually looking at the title of this video, and it said Magic Carpet Ride. I'm like, is that a Steppenwolf reference? Do you even know Steppenwolf?
Is Steppenwolf the DC villain?
Oh, no. Okay, well, there is a DC villain, but I'm talking about the band. They have a song called Magic Carpet Ride.
I don't know. I haven't actually asked Spar about his musical tastes and whatnot.
Was he the one that named this?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay, well, that may make sense. He probably made it a Steppenwolf reference.
Alright, now we're going to chase after Water Jafar.
Yeah, this one is a little strange where we're chasing around like versions of Jafar here, and then we just kind of get locked in the arena. Now, this is sort of like, in a way, because I know with Atlantica, you know, obviously they took out the combat, because in the first game it was kind of a crapshoot. Here it's, you know, more manageable. I mean, you still have to navigate in 3 dimensions, but you do get some help. It's easier to drive carpet. You do get a little suction to kind of get up to certain enemies, so it's way more doable than it is in like the first game with like 3-dimensional all-around combat.
For sure, they added a lot of quality of life stuff here. Like Hell Dragon says, you can basically get zoomed forwards towards the enemies, and you can spin to your heart's delight.
It's kind of funny that this is sort of like a, well, it's not really like an open world area, but it's kind of, you know, starting to remind me of that in a sense.
Yeah, this is actually where you fight the Antlion in Days. Pretty fun boss, one of the more original fights in that game, and that's about all I have to say about it, really.
Why a water clone? That's my question.
I don't know, it just puts me in mind of the water dark side from Start of 3.
In terms of like settings like this, like Arabian Nights and kind of deal, I've always been a fan of like fantasy RPGs that kind of do something like that. Like, for example, in Dungeons and Dragons, I'm a big fan of like Al-Qadim, which was a setting for 2nd edition. They put out this game recently on Steam, not Dungeons and Dragons, but it's called Legends of the Caliph, and it's like an Arabian-themed, you know, grid-based dungeon crawler, and that looks pretty cool. I don't know, there's just something about these sort of settings that really interests me compared to like, you know, standard European fantasy like Lord of the Rings.
Okay, like the 1001 Arabian Nights has always interested me. Whether it has Scooby-Doo and Shaggy in it, or, you know, Sonic.
I mean, that doesn't seem to be the usual inclusions for that story, but okay.
I think you just need to let the speed to bend it, mate.
Man, that reminds me that work. Speaking of Scooby-Doo, we had like a, they brought in donuts, and it's like a Halloween, you know, theme, you know, from Krispy Kreme, and the case is like, oh man, Scooby-Doo, case of the disappearing donuts, flip it to the back to solve the case, get on our social media, and I'm like, they fucking ate them. That's what happened, dudes. You don't need to make a fucking project out of this.
Don't give one to Scooby. I think he might actually die.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's eating stuff that a dog is technically not supposed to eat, so...
He's also a cartoon, so he's technically immortal.
That's true. You know, they obviously run in that toon logic and things like that.
These guys are really hyped over stopping us pressing these switches.
I guess I don't get the point of this. Like, what bothered me about this always was that it requires a certain magic at a certain timing, and I didn't have like lightning and ice and fire equipped on my shortcut, so I had to like manually you know, select them in the menu, like Spar's doing here, of course.
Look at that! How easy and fun to do was that?
Man, maybe I just suck at video games. No, it's the video games that are wrong.
Okay, Skinner.
I mean, listen, look. I'll admit I kind of suck video games more and more with each passing year, alright? I just ain't got the time anymore, man.
That's fair. As we get older, our priorities change. As for me, I only tend to do things for 15 years and see where we go from there.
If you're gonna be cooking for the full 30, man, you better start doing your wrist exercises, you know what I'm saying?
God, I actually bought an exercise bike recently, and like, I'm planning to set it up at some point when I have time. It's like you with video games. Me improving my life. No, I need a run-up on that.
For us, it's just like, you know, some people, they have a hard time doing certain goals, but they play a lot of video games. For me, it's just, man, video games, but I could be productive. That's cool. So I think my priorities are a little skewed sometimes.
I think it's okay to feel a little guilt over not being able to indulge in your hobbies, but like if it becomes overwhelming, like it's literal anxiety for you, then there's clearly like a work-life balance that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, work-life balance is pretty tough, and I say this as you know, somebody who does have that full-time job, and I do have some things, you know, more access to things compared to some other people, so I'm only speaking about this from my perspective, but it can be tough, yeah, especially to balance everything, especially with, you know, how everybody wants us to achieve shit all the time, so it can be challenging.
For sure. Alright, Jafar has definitely got to be in this tiny room up ahead. We've got him, lads.
Yeah, absolutely. See, if there's not enough room for a boss fight, you know it's not going to be a boss fight.
You sure this is it?
Gilbert Gottfried has a rare moment of self-reflection.
You gotta understand, it wasn't my idea. It was Jafar. He made me bring you here.
He offered me crackers by the barrel full of Aladdin.
Listen, crackers, look, I know that's stereotypical, but we parrots have to get what we can.
Now, I like Gilbert Gottfried talking normally. When you start an animated sequel with him singing, I start to go,
Yeah, I started tuning out at that point too.
I had no choice. His eyes, they got all creepy and weird.
He looked at me, like you're doing now.
Oh, the creepy eyes, alright, I forgive you.
It's a little bit weird how there's like two birds in this room. One's anthropomorphic and one's not.
Sorry.
Yeah, both of these birds talk for some reason too, that's a little strange. Is that just the thing we're doing now?
I guess.
I told you guys not to press my magic mystery button. Now the room's falling apart and I gotta build it back up all over again.
The snakes on that pedestal were forming a heart. I wonder if that's symbolic.
Well, let's hope not.
Or maybe it's symbolics, we don't know.
See, I like how now there's an escape sequence to escape the ruins, but we have already escaped the ruins. There's no reason to be doing this section anymore. We're free. We leave. We're done.
No, fly up, stupid.
Yeah, I guess we gotta get the most out of this area somehow, so let's just put them on rails for a little bit. I'm sure the player won't mind.
Meanwhile, Sora's screaming at Carpet, go up, we can easily escape. And Carpet's like, no, I want to have some fun, okay?
Yeah, you know, I barely get out. You know, I've got all the sand in my rug. Fabric. Is that like fur for a carpet? I don't know. I don't even want to think about it.
Well, it stretches like it's skin.
You know, it's so weird, like, this is the first time in a long while I have thought about the carpet from Aladdin, and I remember the show and how, you know, in the movies, of course, and how animated he was, and I'm like, I'm really surprised that they gave so much movement and identity to a fucking rug. It's great.
It is indeed.
Look, I'm easily amused by simple things, alright? Wow, that carpet's moving, cool!
Hey, Mark, come look at this funny talking carpet. We don't talk.
This carpet's weird, Ma! No, seriously, why are we doing this? You can leave!
Again, Carpet wants to have fun. He likes it when the Heartless go flying and smash into the buildings in the background.
Are we gonna destroy the ruins while we're here? Okay, now, it just took a little bit.
What would you call a destroyed ruin? A ruined ruin?
Yeah, a ruiner. A ruiner.
Well,
Yeah.
a ruin with a little 2 in the corner.
Oh man, we finally escaped. That thing we always could escape, so.
Finish! Good. Sora's most challenging trial to date.
Yeah, well, Carpet, maybe you didn't waste all that fucking time. You wouldn't be so tired. I like how they treat it like a dog, now that I think about it.
Come on, let's get Jafar.
And who asked you? The palace is through there. Hurry!
Well, they don't shoo him away, so I guess he's just gonna follow us.
Look, the palace is where we left it. Just-
Running at the speed of Sora.
That's not very fast, unfortunately.
Well, we don't have quick run, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, but you didn't level up your drive forms enough. You gotta do cardio to get that thing.
Ah, indeed. Borrow some treasure. You're lucky the Sultan and his guards don't exist in this version.
Yeah, because I know it wasn't the Peddler, obviously, in Return of Jafar. It was, what was his name? Abbas Mal?
Abysmal, yeah.
Yeah, so, he was voiced by, not Wayne Knight. It was that one guy from Everybody Loves Raymond. No, not Everybody Loves Raymond. It's Seinfeld. What was his fucking name?
You know, well, first things first. When I was thinking to myself, you know, just getting ready to do comms and whatnot, the first name that popped into my head was also Wayne Knight, who played Newman in Seinfeld. Not him. It's Jason Alexander.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Also, Wayne Knight was Zurg, so this makes this Disney theme now.
And Jason Alexander was one of the gargoyles in Hunchback.
That's true. See, it works out.
7 degrees of separation for Jason Alexander.
Or Corey Burton at this rate.
Just wait, Jafar. You'll get exactly what's coming to you.
See, why are you chaining her to the door? You're not going to be able to get in there.
Yeah, this is kind of like... Did it have to be the door to the palace?
Also, Jasmine's like, what, 15?
Listen, look, Jafar, look, when you dabble with dark sorcery long enough, you miss out on a few experiences that you have to make up at a later date.
Right about now, your precious Aladdin is whispering your name with his last breath.
Well, unless Carpet flies up, in which case I'm fucked.
Should get a genie. It would be like, my first wish, genie, is that I want to cuck Aladdin.
I want to do the final flash on Jafar.
Dare defy me, you useless bird?
Nope, psych.
Iago!
You'll all be joining him.
Look, if that was a rock, he would definitely be out of action, alright?
Absolutely.
Gotta load in my PS2 model.
Yo, I love Alf Layla wa Layla.
It took me a moment to remember what you were referencing there.
Yo, let's go Dark Spine's Aladdin.
Wasn't he supposed to be fucking Jafar? Like, I mean, wasn't he like a weird reference to Jafar, in a sense?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if you think of evil genies, for the most part, you're gonna think of Jafar.
Well, Razorjin was the genie from the story of Aladdin.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I guess they kind of mushed them together. It's pretty funny, though, that Jafar is this ultimate powerful genie, yet as we're going to find out, if you hit him with a Keyblade about 50 times, that's it. That's all you need to do.
No, don't target my arms. I worked hard on those. You wish to become a genie, you got them without any effort.
Oh, my sensitive tum-tum.
Oh no, my chrome dome.
Also this, I've always loved this, where it just ties him up with his own little tail, and that mixes him up and gets dizzy. It's ridiculous.
Fucking Looney Tunes ass boss fight.
It's been a long time since I've seen Return of Jafar, but I think it was a little more dangerous than just, oh, let's twist him up, alright?
Well, Iago actually kicks the lamp into, like a pool of lava, and Jafar basically explodes.
Yeah, that'll fucking kill a genie, alright?
Stop doing that!
Stop exploiting my easily exploitable weakness. So does he not have, like, a junk in this form? I'm just curious.
I think he gave that up for ultimate power.
I don't know, that's a big ask.
Well, it's not like he's using it.
Ultimate power or my wiener? Don't know.
At this very moment, my only regret is my lack of wiener! I'll hurry up and die.
Don't mess with street rats.
Oh, good comeback.
Okay, Mr. lives on an island. Good. Bye-bye.
Let's get rid of that. We don't need it anymore. Well, that solves that mystery.
I'm back. You could have helped at any time, Genie. We could have had, like, a sick Genie v Genie fight.
Well, yeah, he wasn't able to fight Jafar, was he? Or Jafar kicked his ass? I'm trying to remember the exact sequence.
I think Genie was, like, in prison somewhere in the final fight.
But also Jafar was super tough, I seem to recall.
He was res, thus indicating his power level.
This is true. At least he wasn't upside down.
Oh my god, don't even get me started!
Wow, it's just the same as we left it?
That wasn't magic. You don't want to know what that was.
You also didn't put those back near him? Never mind.
Yeah, wishing lamp.
Yeah, right into the box it goes. I wish for a better Keyblade.
Alright, here's Ends of the Earth, I guess.
I guess Agrabah's
I thought you were
alright
gonna say
now.
fucking Olympia for a minute there.
Hey, I like Olympia. Ends of the Earth is my favorite.
Ends of the Earth is pretty good.
Definitely got it. No more looking out for number one. I'm reformed.
That's a reference to the song he sung.
I'm a J Guile to your whole horse.
Iago, what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know, that won't be invented for hundreds of years.
Ah, I see. Genie's been whispering in your ear.
As long as we have fun
This is
doing
part
it,
3 in a
that's
sense.
all
That would be
matters.
pretty cool.
So, what do you guys do for fun?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna pass, thanks.
Well, anyway,
Ow, my feet.
And now's the part where they all have fun and joke, so I'm just gonna kind of doze here.
Okay, me too. It's the end of the part, you know. Can't expect the A grade stuff here.
Oh no, antics.
What if Goofy was just called Idiot?
How random.
No,
That was harsh.
like if Disney was really mean.
everything's fine. Don't panic. Genie?
But I can't hold it any longer.
Oh no.
Oh, it's pouring out of me. Jesus.
So that's why he gave up his wiener.
Oh, that's good. Sora, Donald, Goofy, you guys are too much. If you're ever in the mood for some more cosmic razzle-dazzle, give me a shout, okay?
Okay, I'll go and continue to summon, I don't know.
Well, you've done it again, Sora.
I forgot the summons in this game, shit.
I mean, I never used them, so fair enough.
The one you're looking for? You'll find it.
Aladdin's such a bro. I love Sora's relationships with the Disney characters. I'd go into further detail and explain my opinion more, but we're done here. So we'll see you next time for more second visits in KH2 Final Mix.